His dream is to leave a legacy for the Ghana Journalists Association. Let's welcome the dynamic president and general of the Ghana Journalists Association, Mr. Albert Dwumfour. A round of applause for him. Thank you very much, Mr. Albert Dwumfour.
Ladies and gentlemen, I welcome you all to this year's WordPress Freedom Day. I am sincerely grateful to all of you for making time to grace today's event with your presence. As many of us here may be aware, WordPress Freedom Day, which is marked May 3rd every year, is a special occasion designated by UNESCO to spread awareness regarding the role media plays in our daily lives and society. Madam Chairperson, it is worth noting that the 2023 WordPress Freedom Day in Ghana is being organized solely by the Ghana Journalists Association with assistance from the Ghana Police Service and DB. Following the advice from our long-term partner, UNESCO, to fish on our own, we would like to thank UNESCO for teaching us to fish. Self-dependence is very essential. The global team for WordPress Freedom Day 2023 is shaping a future of right, freedom of expression as a driver for all other human rights. Notably, this theme coincides with the 30th anniversary of both WordPress Freedom Day and the Vienna Conference Declaration and Program of Action for Human Rights. The theme for Ghana's celebration, which is not too distinct from the global theme, is freedom of expression, a driver for all human rights for Ghana's development. Regarding the development of the nation, Madam Chairperson, the right to free expression is of the utmost importance, and all measures must be taken to ensure that it is not infringed upon in any way. Madam Chairperson, the GJA, along with Media Foundation for West Africa, GIBA, and PRIPAC, recently urged the government to amend certain provisions of the Electronic Communications Act and the Criminal Code, specifically Section 208 of the Criminal and Other Offences Act 1960 at 29. As critical stakeholders in the media industry, we cannot remain unconcerned as these laws are used to arrest citizens and journalists and prefer criminal charges over civil remedies for press and speech offenses that are merely defamatory. The arbitrary application of these laws only serves to instill fear in the general populace. One of our colleagues, Noah Nati Dame of Radio Ada, was recently detained for 7 days on false publication charges due to these bad laws. And this has affected our 2023 WordPress Freedom Index, our ranking on 2023 WordPress Freedom Index. Ghana has moved from 60 to 62. Ghana has moved from 60 to 62. Let's take note. 2 backwards. As the umbrella body of journalists in this country, Madam Chairperson, we will continue to ensure that any action or law that seeks to stifle free expression fails. Madam Chairperson, to ensure that free speech is always protected, it is essential that journalists who are the vanguards of free speech receive all the support they require to carry out their duties without hindrance or compromise. This is why, under the current administration, the GJA has established the Journalist Support Fund, GSF. The fund will provide legal services to journalists whose rights have been violated while performing their duties. It will also assist in providing training and seminars on safety and security to our members to improve their safety and security. The fund will also be used to support or cushion retirees, so some may refer to it as Retirees Support Fund. Since the inception of this fund several months ago, Madam Chairperson, it is crucial to know that so many privileged individuals and corporate institutions have shown interest Some individuals and organizations have made substantial contributions to the fund. In the coming weeks, the GJA will inaugurate the See Something, Say Something initiative. This initiative is distinct from that of the Ministry of National Security and aims to encourage citizens to volunteer information about individuals who plan to attack or have already attacked journalists. We believe that this will substantially contribute to the reduction of journalistic assault. It will also empower citizens at the local level to ensure accountability and transparency. Madam Chairperson, being proactive is essential if we are to protect the right to free expression. And I must say that the GJA has been very proactive in recent years with regard to defending this right. We also caution media outlets when necessary. All of us are witnesses to how we managed Radio Ada versus the Ada Traditional Council when a reporter from that station was banned from participating in activities. The GJA held a press conference to condemn the council's actions and pointed out that they lacked authority to prohibit a journalist. A similar situation involving Yoruba Radio and the Kumasi Traditional Council, Menchia, was promptly resolved. We are not suggesting that journalists are beyond reproach or that we are flawless. No, as stated previously, there are several remedies available to those who believe they have been treated unjustly by the media, and they can always utilize them. As captured in this year's World Press Freedom Team, the preservation of free expression has a trickle-down effect. When freedom of speech is jealously guarded, there will be no fear or panic, because people will go about their duties without looking over their shoulders. Our democracy will prosper further if individuals can freely express their opinions. I must state that the GJA, together with its media stakeholders, has initiated processes to engage the President of Ghana, who is known in his private life as a human rights activist and advocate of press freedom, and the Attorney General, as far as repealing the obnoxious laws which stifle free speech is concerned. I'm talking about the Electronic Communications Act and the Criminal Code, specifically Section 208 of the Criminal and Other Offences Act, 1960, Act 29. Madam Chairperson, on this day, we cannot forget Ahmed Swale. Over 4 years after his gruesome murder, we continue to seek justice for him by putting pressure on the authorities concerned to up their game. Quite recently, the Attorney General and Minister of Justice disclosed that the docket on Ahmed Swale had not reached his office, considering the fact that his office has prosecutorial powers. The President also assured us at our dinner night last year, that's last December, that he is going to see to the closure of this case and ensure that perpetrators are brought to face the full rigor of the law. As an association, we will continue putting pressure on the police to conclude the investigation on the matter and submit the docket to the AG for necessary action. Let's come together as journalists and fight hard for a more liberated society. It is also essential to note, Madam Chairperson, that the celebration of World Press Freedom Day next year will coincide with the GJA's 75th anniversary as an organization. We intend to organize significant activities to commemorate both occasions. As the political season approaches, I would like to exhort my media colleagues not to entertain politicians or individuals who will poison the atmosphere with intemperate and provocative remarks. Let's perform our professional roles while keeping the country's peace in mind. Permit me to also use this occasion to warn politicians who have a propensity for abusing journalists or stifling free expression that they would not go scot-free. And once again, they will not go scot-free. We are prepared to safeguard all media professionals as they perform their duties with diligence. Permit me to also finally we commit ourselves to promoting professional standards in the media and urge all journalists and media houses to uphold the highest level of integrity and professionalism. We will not hesitate to call out any journalist or media organization that indulges in flagrant violations of professional ethics and standards. This is in view of the recognition that press freedom and indeed all other forms of freedom go with responsibility and the duty to respect public sensibilities, human dignity, and public interest. Madam Chairperson, as I bring my remarks to a close, it is important to reiterate that the celebration of World Press Freedom Day will become an annual charade if state institutions do not commit themselves to changing the narrative and maintaining the rights of journalists for once. Once again, I said, Madam Chairman, I repeat that as I bring my remarks to a close, it is important to reiterate that the celebration of World Press Freedom Day will become an annual charade if state institutions do not commit themselves to changing the narrative and maintaining the rights of journalists for once. Like I always say, journalists' lives matter. Journalists' lives matter. Long live GJ, long live World Press Freedom. Thank you for your attention.